Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking the top heirlooms in the game from worst to best. I will apologize because as I'm editing this and making this intro, there is a bit of a difference in the audio quality between me providing commentary in Premiere Pro versus me recording this on my game capture card. So I do apologize for that. I am working on a solution to that. It's not terrible, but it can be improved, and I'd like to improve that sometime soon. But anyways, back to the video. I'm going to be ranking, as I said earlier, heirlooms from worst to best. And leave a comment on who you think has the better heirloom of all the people I suggested. Alright, so it pains me to put Wraith's heirloom at the bottom of the list because I play her the most at the moment, but she honestly just does not have the best heirloom. And it's honestly just really bland. There's nothing that's super interesting. She's got a very basic inspect, and the design of it's just a kunai with what seems to be like bluish lightning occasionally coming off her weapon. However, I do think she has one of the best banner poses. But other than that, there's honestly just not that much detail in her weapon compared to some of the newer heirlooms. Another bad heirloom, in my opinion, is Bloodhound. Their weapon is only ranked higher than Wraith's because I do like the detail at the end of the axe, which shows a raven's beak. The inspect is also a bit better than Wraith's because it lasts longer and shows more detail of their heirloom. Other than that though, similar to Wraith's, this heirloom doesn't have much to offer, but it's still a cool weapon. And while Bloodhound's heirloom is a bit better than Wraith's, I will say I do like Wraith's banner pose a little bit more than Bloodhound's. These heirlooms are not terrible in my eyes, but they can be improved. My first heirloom was Octane from the System Override event, and it's honestly got a pretty slick design. Well, it's basically only a knife. Respawn managed to make it more than that and added some pretty cool details. I love the stem substance filled in his knife, and he has one of the best inspects in the game. But he only has a single inspect, and there are other heirlooms that have a cooler design in my opinion. Mirage's heirloom is also pretty cool. For the first time on this list, an heirloom has more than one inspects. I honestly think that making a statue of himself was the right move for making an heirloom for Mirage, as it fits him perfectly. Some fans were complaining that it should have been a pork chop, but Respawn made that as one of the rare heirloom melee attacks. The sound Mirage makes when hitting someone with his heirloom is also pretty satisfying, for me, for some reason, but where he falls short is in reality, it's only a statue, and there's cooler heirloom designs out there. At first, when this heirloom was released, I thought it was the worst in the game, but it started to grow on me, so I put Gibraltar's right outside of the top 3. Gibraltar's heirloom has the most inspects out of every character at the moment, and his heirloom is incredibly detailed. I love the flame particles coming off of his weapon, and I also love one of his inspects where he does some sort of dance with his war plug. I will admit I am a bit biased because I don't play Gibraltar at all, and I will say that he might have one of the most detailed heirlooms in the game. But honestly, I just prefer the other ones more than this one. The third best heirloom in the game for me is Lifelines. I absolutely love her heirloom. I don't even know why, it's just badass in my opinion. She's got 2 shock sticks that she often uses as drumsticks in her single inspect, and I also like the way she ignites them. Pretty menacing and badass at the same time. She's got one of the best single inspects in the game, where she at first twirls the weapons and then starts beating them like drumsticks. I don't have this heirloom, but the next time I get shards, hers is definitely the one I am planning on getting. The best single inspect heirloom in the game, in my opinion, is the Pathfinder. I fucking love this heirloom. He's got 2 boxing gloves with different melee animations to hit your opponent with, and just in general, I love the design and detail that goes into this weapon. His inspect is also my favorite in the game. He simply is just bouncing his gloves and having fun with them until a raven comes up to him, and yes, it's the same raven that has been included with a variety of skydiving modes and banner poses, and punches the raven out with a knockout. My personal favorite heirloom in the game goes to Caustic. He's my favorite character in the Apex lore, and I absolutely love playing as him. His heirloom fits him perfectly, and his inspects are just so badass. I love how his hammer has a skull on the back, which is further shown in one of his inspects. Caustic has a variety of different melee attacks, including some pretty rare ones, which are also just as cool. While seeming a bit bland, I think his heirloom fits in perfectly, and as I said earlier, the skull is my favorite part about his weapon. I heard about someone wanting a gas trap to be his heirloom, but I honestly think that's kind of ridiculous. The hammer fits in perfectly, and it's my personal favorite heirloom in Apex Legends. Alright, looks like it's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks you so much for watching. That was me ranking the heirlooms from worst to best. Feel free to disagree or agree in the comments, and I'd like to hear your opinion on what you think is best or not. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.